What's up, everybody? So I know I haven't really been putting these out consistently for a while now, but like I said before, I'm just basically doing these for like the handful of followers that have stuck with me. Kind of like consider like you guys more like friends or like like family, like that. But I'm gonna actually try to put out two videos this week. I'm gonna start doing like some shorter videos too, because those I can just record like that. Because I still got a lot of stories, but I'm also gonna start doing my paranormal stories again because those are part of my life experiences, and this is kind of really what my channel is about. I know a lot of people jumped off, because they didn't like my paranormal stories. They only want to hear prison stories, but it says in my bio or whatever on my channel that that I was going to talk about some paranormal experiences too. So I don't know why people act surprised, but anyway, real quick, that Cash App link will be in the comments. Uh, this is going to be another prison story about CCA, Corrections Corporation of America, um, Crooked Corporation of America. um, This is another story from 1200 unit high custody. Most of the unit was high custody, and there was like quite a few crazy things that happened there. CCA, Florence, Arizona. In case it's like a new listener that's never heard of it. So anyway, this thing actually happened on one of my days off. I wasn't there, but COs from my unit told me what happened, and then also this inmate that we used to call T-Bone. I don't even remember his real name, but he was a hall porter. So like usually inmates don't get that job unless they got a lot of clout or unless they're just like a tough dude, because hall porter is probably the best job, or actually it's the second best job next to like a what do you call it, the inmates that help out the unit managers and case managers. I'm trying to think of the name of that job. It's slipping my mind right this second, but I talked about it in one of my other videos. So hall porter is probably like the second best job I think you can get, and then maybe the third best job would be like working in the kitchen, for obvious reasons, right? Um, but the hall porter, he gets to, like go into all the different pods. He gets to go anywhere in the unit, sometimes out of the unit. So you get a lot of freedom, you know what I mean? So T-Bone always knew everything that was going on. And just like a quick description of T-Bone, man, he was cool. Like, we used to always like, shoot the shit with him and joke around with him and stuff. Like I said, or I don't know if I said it, but he was a Tucson blood, and I think he was in there from like some drugs and like guns violations. But this dude, like, he was a character, man. Like, he was maybe like a little bit taller than me, or maybe about my same height, and he was pretty yoked, pretty stocky dude. Um, kind of light skinned brother, and or actually medium. Like he wasn't light skinned, but he wasn't like super dark. So maybe like just medium shade of brown or black. But this dude, man, he had 11 kids from 9 babies mamas. No joke. We used to always tease him about that, and we used to tell him he went to prison on purpose so he wouldn't have to pay child support. But yeah, so this dude, he liked to slang, he liked to gang bang, and he liked making babies, apparently, right? So, anyways, he was like the main one that like told me the story because, like I said, I wasn't there, and I heard it from some other COs, but he saw the whole thing because it happened in his pod, right? So, the basic story of what happened was, like I said, it was one of the high custody pods in 1200 unit, and it happened during day shift. So like I think this was like maybe shortly after breakfast. So the inmates were eating their breakfast, and it was actually like these two inmates were friends. But they were two different races. One inmate was a Tucson AZ Chicano, and then the other inmate was a chief, a young chief. They were both young, like early 20s, and they were both gang members. I think that young chief was like a member of Warrior Society, and probably like I think on the res they got Crips and Bloods too, like their own version of it. So I don't know which one he was, but they were both young gangsters or whatever. So anyway, they were actually like friends, and the whole thing started out. T-Bone said because like the chief, like he was like teasing the Chicano inmate about something, but it was nothing like serious, like where they were mad at each other. He was kind of clowning him about something. I don't remember what. And like for whatever reason, like his homies, hey, have a good night. I'm here at my job, so I still gotta work. You know what I'm saying? People still heading out. I think that's like the last person. But anyway, so like his people, the young Chicano, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was really that serious to where they had to save face or had to say something, but they basically told that young Chicano like, "Hey man, you gonna let him disrespect you like that?" And he was like, "No, we're just fucking around. Like, we're cool. Like, it's no biggie." And they were like, "No man, you ain't gonna let that." They call the Chiefs flechas. It means like a arrowhead or something. That's what Chicanos call the Chiefs, right? So he's, no, you ain't gonna let that fucking flecha disrespect our race like that. Disrespect you and disrespect us like that. They were like, you better fucking do something, or we're gonna smash you because you're making us look weak. Basically. So it was like, fuck, like for real. And they were like, yeah, motherfucker, we ain't playing for real. You best do something, or we gonna do something to you later, So I guess he put his tray down and walked over to the dude and just like, just like clipped him in his chin and then started bombing on him. So of course, the other chiefs are gonna, jump in and try to help their boys. So it turned into an all-out brawl between the Chiefs and the Chicanos, which, usually didn't happen because for the most part, like the Chiefs and the Chicanos usually got along, and they actually they would usually team up against the Paisas, like the Mexican nationals. And a lot of people, like don't understand the difference. If you know anything about gangs and prisons, then you know exactly what I'm saying. But so the Hispanics or Latinos from here, from the U.S., like if you're Mexican descent, you consider yourself a Chicano, right? And I'm referring to like in prison, right? Like I know in out here in the regular world, like there's more of a generalization. Like I could say I'm Mexican because my family came from Mexico. Like I'm actually first generation. I was born here, but I have three older brothers and sisters that were actually born in Mexico, and then my parents obviously came from Mexico, right? But so like in there, the Chicanos, they do not like to be called Mexican. Like if you call a Chicano Mexican, he'll say, "I ain't no fucking Mexican. I ain't from Mexico." They don't like to be called Mexican. And then like the Mexican nationals, which are mostly the illegals, that come over from Mexico, they're called paisas. They call each other paisa, and what it means is countrymen. It's they kind of borrowed the word from the Italians. It used to be paisano. That's what the Italians call each other, paisano. But the paisas changed it to paisa, like a shorter version of it, and it just means like countryman or like brother, right? So it's not a bad word, it's what they call each other, right? So anyway, the Chicanos and the Chiefs usually stuck together mainly because they're both from here and because they're English speaking, right? So it's kind of simplified like that. And then also because at the jail, the federal detention center that I worked at, largest population by far was the Paisas. They outnumbered everybody. So that's why a lot of times the English speaking races would team up if there was like a really big disagreement between, like say like the Chicanos and the Paisas or the whites and the Paisas. Like, the whites, Chicanos, and Chiefs would usually team up, and then the blacks also. But the blacks were like the smallest population, there. Other than like you'd have like maybe an Asian or something like that, every once in a while. But so anyway, so it turned into an all-out brawl between the Chicanos and the Chiefs, and I guess first they started like smashing plastic chairs on each other's heads and stuff, and then somebody pulled out a shank. Somebody was ready to go. I think one of the natives, one of the chiefs, pulled out a shank and stabbed up one of the Chicanos pretty good, but not nothing serious. Like he didn't have to be air vac or nothing. But then one of the Chicanos, like I don't know if he had it handy or if he ran to his cell really quick or something. One of the Chicanos pulled out a lock and a sock and just started laying fools out. Started knotting fools up. I'm sure there was a lot of chiefs that had some big old knots on their head or whatever. But I guess like I think it was the chief that originally the one that got hit first. I think he ended up getting his head stomped pretty bad. I remember T-Bone saying like, yeah, that dude got fucked up pretty bad, and he ended up having to get air vac'd out actually. And like I'm not sure. I think he made a full recovery, but probably had to get like some like a metal plate in his skull, and like a long ass recovery or whatever. But I'm not sure like if he had any permanent. Probably had some permanent scars and probably like some PTSD, but I don't know like if he had any other permanent damage. But yeah, that was a pretty violent thing, but it all happened pretty fast. Like I guess the whole fight like took like maybe like about 7 minutes, and then basically like they called the code, and a bunch of COs responded, and I think one of the captains or lieutenants like threw a couple of gas grenades in there, waited for everybody to hit the ground, and then they just went in and like started cuffing everybody up, and then got medical in there, and like I said, the one dude had to get air vac'd out, but yeah, that's just one of the many crazy things that happened in 1200 unit, and luckily no COs got hurt, but yeah, I mean that's life as a CO. It can be like hours of boredom with minutes of sheer terror. So anyway, that's another one of my stories from CCA. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, I'll try to get another video out this week. Till then, your homie Big Cisco. Peace.